would result in the exact same conclusions.
Yep. Okay, but here's my question to you, okay? Can I ask you a question with an answer?
Yeah, you can ask me a question, but I'd like you to address your logical contradiction.
Okay, so so again, in the 19% of women that are infertile, and in fact that there's a 50% success rate, can you actually perform an argument between saying two gay people and a man and a woman having intercourse that's infertile and use that extreme as an argument?
I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. Like, you keep on referring to like IVF, right? But IVF is not intercourse, right? So like a woman can have a child via IVF in the same way that a gay man can have a child via IVF, right? So like this gay man can have his sperm like artificially inseminated into an egg, then have that implanted within the womb of a woman. Just like this woman that is infertile can have like a sperm artificially implanted within an egg, and then have that put in either the womb of herself or the womb of a surrogate, right? But like what's of relevance here is the fact that you said it's wrong to be gay because it yields no reproduction, right? So homosexual intercourse never yields any reproduction. Well, like intercourse with an infertile woman never yields any reproduction. And you said that that specific act was not wrong.
You can't say never though, because studies
Oh,
show that it's not
oh yeah, no,
never.
no, no. So we're assuming that this will never result in any reproduction, right? So there's going to be people that are misdiagnosed as infertile or like have infertility to due to some like underlying like symptom or cause that doesn't exist in a chronic condition, right? So like this is chronically like we know that this is never going to result in any like reproduction is immoral.
And that's what I'm saying. Is it fair to use the extreme of the 19% and 50% being successful using IVF? Is it fair
Well,
to do that
IVF
other
isn't intercourse,
50% as a
homie.
valid?
Homie, IVF isn't intercourse.
Correct, but you're asking reproduction though. Your question was reproducing.
No,
So
homie, my
stay on the question that
question
you
was
asked me.
intercourse. No, no, the question I asked you was intercourse. Homie, oh, this has nothing to do with IVF whatsoever. Whatso fucking ever. IVF has zero to do with this, right? I asked you if I engage in intercourse. I even like laid out the detail, right, of me putting my male member in the female member, right? Is that immoral to do with an infertile woman?
You're arguing on an extreme though, and that's what I'm trying to get
Wait,
across
no,
to
no,
you.
no, no, no. That's not an extreme at all. 19% of women in between the ages of 18 and 49 are infertile. Then 100% of the women after the age of about 60 or 55 or 60 are infertile, right? This is less of an extreme than homosexual intercourse because we only see about 11.5% of individuals being homosexual, while we see like 19% of individuals aged 18 through 49 infertile than 100% of women after the age of 55 infertile. There's more infertile women than gay women. So
Correct, but
it's like
50%
now,
of those
now if you're
19
gonna
can
say now,
reproduce.
now if you're gonna no, but this all has to do with like the intercourse in of itself. And like that bears no
But
relevance. Of
my
course, there's going to be like,
my, my
of
stance is
course, there's going to be
reproduction though.
differences. Of course, there's
My
going to be differences, right? Of course, there's going to be like differences, but this isn't like a morally relevant difference whatsoever, right? So you can appeal to a case where one of these individuals is going to possess the ability to reproduce, right? But like this doesn't discredit the fact that there's another individual that can't reproduce, right? So you're just like, this is a straw man, right? So when I'm specifically asking you a question about someone who does not possess the ability to reproduce, and then you say, oh, well, this other person can reproduce, that bears no relevance whatsoever, right? Because like imagine this. Imagine like you told me that a gay man can't reproduce. Well, what if I said, oh, but a straight man can reproduce? Is that relevant? No, it's not, right? So we can't appeal to situations of others when in context of like these given hypotheticals or analogies.
Right. So my original thing was the men and women and reproduction side of why being gay is immoral, correct?
Right. And my question to you is, if I engage in intercourse
Right.
with a woman that I know will never be able to reproduce from that intercourse, is it wrong, yes or no?
And I'm saying that that's an extreme case where you're bringing up an
It's less
extreme
extreme than
situation
homosexuality.
because 19,
Answer the question, Austin.
50% of
Homie,
those
Austin,
19%
answer the
infertile
question or I'm
can
removing you off
reproduce
the live.
though.
Austin, answer the question or I'm removing you off the
You,
live. If
you
I
just don't have
engage
an
in
answer for the
intercourse,
counter
no, no,
argument.
Austin,
That's why you
if
keep
I
bringing it
engage
up.
in intercourse with a woman that will never yield any reproduction, is that right or wrong?
You just keep ignoring the counter
Okay,
argument to your
Oscar.
extreme answer. You're trying.
All right, we're gonna go to move on to our next guest here. I mean, I asked him that question for about 10 minutes. Um, and also, we are gonna be doing a co-host with Parker tonight over on his live, but we're gonna go ahead and do a couple more guests over here, y'all. And also, let's go ahead and get our next guest, Skylar, up here for the night. But we are gonna be doing a co-host with Parker over on his live. All right, what's up, man? Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay?
Me personally, I think it's wrong.
Okay, why?
Long story short, I am a Christian, and the Bible talks about it being wrong, and it's a sin.
Okay, which verse in the Bible condemns homosexuality?
The one I'm thinking of is Leviticus 18:22.
Okay, 1822. So what does it say?
Um, it says,
It says it's an abomination, right? So, like, it does say this, right? It does say this. However, God states specifically within Leviticus that the Levitican laws were only for the ancient Israelites because of their differences with the Egyptians and the Canaanites, right? So God quite literally states that these were rules for the Israelites that lived over 3,000 years ago, and we are not Israelites that lived over 3,000 years ago, therefore they are not applicable to us, right? But if you were to still follow Levitican law, you would still be in contradiction of your own God, out of the sense that Levitican law also states that it's an abomination to not wear blue tassels off of all four corners of your garments, right? And I'm guessing you're not doing that right now, so you'd be just as much of abomination as a gay man, while still being in contradiction of your own God, because he says you shouldn't follow those laws.
fair enough. Well, I guess another point that I've been kind of thinking of, if we kind of follow like the Ten Commandments,
Yeah, which commandment condemns homosexuality?
well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, um, okay, well, here's
The
another.
answer is none of them.
Well, I know the answer is none of them. Hang on a second. So, so one thing we do have to consider about talking about gay, like in the present, like right now, back then, like the word being gay, like it wasn't really orientated, like the orientation of that wasn't quite like it wasn't quite a definition or understood during the biblical times. So like
No, it
therefore, if
was. It was understood as male temple prostitution. It was understood as like idolatry, right? Like the only homosexuality that existed within Greek Roman time, within Greek Roman culture, which is the biblical times, was male temple prostitution, right? But what's your point here? Why is being gay wrong?
um, well, like I said, I'm just a Christian and I study the Bible
Okay,
and
you're a Christian, and which verse in the Bible condemns homosexuality? Or Lupin?
well, I guess well, I don't really have like the entire Bible memorized. The
I
Leviticus
do.
one,
I do. I
but
do. So yeah, I have the entire Bible memorized, right? So Leviticus 18:22 condemns homosexuality, but that's when Leviticus 18:1 through 5 comes in and shows those rules to only be applicable to the ancient Israelites. Genesis, Romans, Corinthians, and Timothy also condemn homosexuality. However, translations of them condemning homosexuality only appeared in 1946. Genesis, Sodom and Gomorrah, those cities got destroyed because of same-sex, not because of same-sex relations, but rather because of rape and assault on angels. Romans is a misinterpretation of Greek Roman society. Then Corinthians and Timothy are mistranslations. So do you have anything else for us?
I guess well, if God didn't want men like not to like have intercourse with men, he would have made Adam and some other dude instead of Adam and Eve.
Well, he didn't even make Adam and Eve, right? So, I mean, if you knew your shit like the Christian you're supposed to be, Orion, who's one of the most prolific Christian theologians of all time, quite literally says that Adam and Eve is like a fictitious parable. It's a story that never happened. And this is like the consensus among Christian theologians. Such as others like St. Augustine in his book City of God. And if you were to take that as historical recount and not as a parable, then you would have to think that the earth is 5,000 years old. Because the genealogy laid out between Adam and Jesus in Genesis is 3,000 years. And then from Jesus to us is obviously 2,000 years, right? So if you accept that God made Adam and Eve, then you'd have to accept that the earth is 5,000 years old. So my question to you is the earth 5,000 years old?
Well, just I mean, not no one really knows how old the Earth is,
Sure
so
we do. 4 billion.
I can't. For okay, well,
Yeah, carbon dating, sedimentary rock layering, like
mhm.
geotechnical work. Yeah, people do know.
Mhm.
You just don't know. So answer my question: is the Earth over 5,000 years old? Yes or no?
I'll just say yes because you just said it was 4 billion
All right. So
years old.
therefore, God did not make Adam and Eve.
Well, man, that's a tough one, but
It's not a tough one at all.
well,
The genealogy
I will
laid
say
out
this.
between Adam and Jesus is 3,000 years
I
old. Read
I
your
believe
scripture.
that God created Adam and Eve just
Okay,
because
so
it
then you
says
believe that the Earth is 5,000 years old. Those beliefs go
yeah,
in tandem. You have to hold
yeah.
those both to be true.
All right.
So then
I'll go with that.
this would contradict, our modern understanding of carbon dating. This would contradict our modern understanding of like geotechnical work and sedimentary rock layering, and this would contradict every single theologian of your own church that says it's a parable. There's plenty of parables in the Bible. There's nothing wrong with Adam and Eve being a parable, but it has to be a parable in order to be like in correlation to our modern understanding of science.
Fair enough. Well, all I
Anything
can say
else?
is, well,
How many
it kind
continents
of
are there?
7,
What's 9 times 11?
99.
Very good, very good. Continue.
Okay. Well, so you're asking me personally why I think gay is being wrong. I'm just telling you why I think is gay is wrong, right?
Okay, but
But
you
I
haven't
will say
provided
this.
me any
Um,
justification. You gave me a verse that I said in that verse God says that was only a rule for people that lived a long time ago, and then you said Adam and Eve. Well, you contradicted yourself on the basis of believing in Adam and Eve, but not young Earth creationism. So you don't have any like coherent grounding for that proposition.
well, well, if we take a some people may have like problems justifying the Bible, right? So, let's think here. Oh, okay. So, like some linguistic experts kind of studied the Bible and they compared the old scrolls with the new scrolls, and they have determined about 95% is word for word accurate. Therefore, like when they transition the Bible, because some people get kind of like, well, the Bible has been rewritten a lot, so
What's the relevance of this whatsoever?
well, I'm just saying,
This has no relevance at all.
well, okay, so the Bible is a letter from God, right?
Justify that. Then also, how is this? How would this refute
It's
like
his
what your
word.
own theologians say?
The Bible is God's word, right?
Yeah, so justify that.
You're saying justify it?
Yes.
Well, his believers like wrote the Bible, right?
Okay, so if you believe in something, then you write text off of that belief. That is justification for that belief being of a divine nature. So when the believers of the Islam religion wrote the Quran, that would justify the notion that Prophet Muhammad was of a divine nature, and their version of the Abrahamic God is true and divine as well.
Not necessarily.
Right, so then this would contradict your justification for how you know that your text is divinely inspired.
Well, like I said, I'm a Christian and I believe God's word. And if he says, do not practice homosexuality, like,
What verse?
well, not like I'm gonna sit here and like look up verses
So then
right
you
off.
don't know that he says don't practice homosexuality.
Well, I know that it is preached, right? So like, of course, like if I have like if my preacher tells me about it, I mean, I wish he talked about it a little bit before I came on this live, obviously, but
So
I'm
so
just
when
telling you
preachers
what I
tell
know off
little
the top of my
when
head.
yeah when preachers in the Catholic Church told little boys to pull their pants down, that was like justified because they're preachers.
Well, no, because they're Catholic.
So it seems as if like the words of preachers aren't like 100% divinely inspired.
It depends on the preacher, because maybe a Catholic preacher says go kill somebody, but we both
And
know
this is
that's
also
wrong.
just like an appeal to authority. No, you're just saying, oh, you heard someone else say it, therefore it must be true. That's not the case at all, and that's definitely not justification whatsoever.
Well, I'm just saying if the preacher said it's okay to be gay, well, if the preacher said it's okay to kill, it's not okay to kill, just like how it's not okay to be gay.
Yeah, and you can't give me any justification for the notion that it's not okay to be gay.
Well, can you give me justification for it to be okay to be gay?
Yeah, there's no moral ramifications associated with same-sex or opposite-sex attractions or intercourse.
Or does it say in the Bible that it says it's okay to be gay?
Is
In
it
the
okay
Bible?
for me to own a MacBook?
Yes.
Where in the Bible does it say it's okay to own a MacBook?
It doesn't because
Right. So then, therefore, what is explicitly it doesn't have something doesn't have to be explicitly stated in the Bible for it to be like justified and being okay.
fair enough, but if it's a sin, it's a sin. Just like how
But you
killing.
don't know it's a sin. You haven't been able to justify it as a sin.
Well, why would God say that to not practice homosexuality to one group and not talk about to all of us if the Bible is written for all of us?
Well, Leviticus 18 wasn't written for all of us, and this is prefaced and told in Leviticus 18:1 through 5. Not to mention that he said that for the Israelites because the Egyptians and the Canaanites practiced ritualistic same-sex orgies, right? So this is why he condemned homosexuality.
Mm.
Right.
Well, uh,
I mean, no, seriously, open up your Bible right now. Do you have one in front of you?
yeah.
Read Leviticus 18:1 through 5 and tell me what it says. And how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay.
Leviticus, which one?
Leviticus 18:1 through 5. Also, guys, we're going to be going over to Parker's stream here soon. We're going to be doing a co-host with Parker today. So everybody get ready for that. It'll be
All
fun.
right,
It'll be
so
fun.
Leviticus 18:1 through 5. It says, "The Lord said to Moses, Speak to the Israelites and say to them, I am the Lord your God. You must do not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live, and you must not do as they do in the land of Canaan, I am bringing you. Do not follow their practices. You must obey my laws and be careful to follow
There you
my
go.
decrees."
So there you go. God states directly in the text that that was only for the Israelites because of the differences from the Egyptians and the Canaanites. Honestly, man, do you have anything else for me?
Well, I mean, in 4 right here, it says, You must obey my laws and be careful to follow my decrees.
Right. His laws and decrees were the Levitican laws that were given to Moses to give to the Israelites. Help me, do you have anything else for me? I mean, I feel like you're just up here wasting my time.
I mean, you're just, like I said, I just kind of came on here just to say why I don't think
Yeah,
why
right? But
I
then
think that
I
gay,
showed you why you were unjustified along every step of the way.
I don't, well, I mean, yes, you've got a lot of good points, but I have a lot of good points myself,
Name
too.
one good point you made.
Like it's in the Bible, and I feel like if God didn't want it in the Bible, He wouldn't have put it in there.
Homie, you're being willfully obtuse. God says in the Bible, in the text that I just had you read off, that those were only rules for the Israelites. I don't know how, like, I don't think it could get more obtuse than this. I had you read off the text that said that that's only for the Israelites.
Well, Well, in verse 5 it says, Keep my decrees and laws, for the person who obeys them will live by them. I am the Lord.
Right, because those were the Lord's decrees and laws towards the Israelites. Very nice observation.
All right. I
Have a
guess
good one, man.
that's all I got for you, I guess.
All right, we're going to go and move on to our next guest here, guys. If we're enjoying this stream, make sure we're tapping away in that phone screen. Y'all, let's move on to our next guest. This may be our last time running this topic for a while here, chat. I think this topic has died down just a little bit. That's all right, though. What's up, Seth? Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay?
Do you hear me?
I sure do.
Yeah, so I think it's wrong as well.
Okay, why?
I'll be honest, I don't go to church every Sunday, but I am a Christian. And I
Okay, man,
don't know
I've had
every
like
verse
10
in the Bible.
Christians and I've had. Oh my God. Yo. Yo, Patrick, thank you so much for the flying wish. Patrick, thank you so much for the flying wish. I really appreciate you, man. W fucking Patrick, that gift scares the hell out of me. We're gonna go and move on to our next guest. I kind of want a non-biblical argument. We've been alive for a little over an hour, and we've only had Bible arguments. So let's get one non-Bible argument. What's up, man? Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay? All right, I guess he's not here. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next guest. Let's go ahead and see what Hayden Spencer has to say. We're gonna go ahead and do a non-Bible argument here, chat. What's up, Hayden? Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay? Nope, apparently not. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next guest. Let's go ahead and see what Andrew has to say here, chat. Thank you so much for those hand arts, and also y'all, thank you so much for that $10 Venmo, Jackson. Thank you so much, man. I'm gonna start like a little bit of like a crowdfunding thing for a new microphone. I wanna get a nice new microphone here. All right, let's go and get our last guest of the night up here right before we go over and we co-host with Parker. Our last guest of the night before that is loading in right now. Unfortunately, they are not connecting. Let's go ahead and see who's next. Who's next? Ando has to say. Let's see what Ando has to say here, y'all. What's up, man? Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay? Yo! Patrick with the candy party! W. Patrick, thank you so much, man. It's good to see you as always. W. Patrick's in the chat right now, baby. What's up, Ando? Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay?
Yes, I think it's wrong.
Okay, why?
Because, it's a sexual reproduction genital, so it's meant to reproduce.
Okay, so it's wrong to be gay because it can't reproduce?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Can
no,
infertile-
not even the
Is it-
fact that you
is it-
can't
is it-
reproduce. Don't cut me off, let me finish. Not even the fact that you can't reproduce, but like, the penis wasn't made for that.
How do you know that the penis wasn't made for that?
Because, when you look around, even in the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom,
Kalia, thank you so much for the cash app.
when you see a penis, it goes into a vagina. And a
So
child
we
comes
actually
out.
observe, the male member going into the female member in nature, but we do definitely also observe it going into the male posterior, right? So, oh my God, yo, thank you so much for the flying witch. Holy shit. You guys are going crazy on the gifts tonight. That's such a loud
Yeah,
gift, right?
but my
So we
point
observe
is,
homosexuality in nature, Ando.
yeah, animals can be, get me, if two more animals have sex.
Right, so if you're saying that, like, we are to denote the function or the purpose of the penis based off upon what we observe it doing, well, we observe it doing heterosexual and homosexual acts within humans and also within nature, right? Over
Yeah.
3,000 animal species. So Pineapple, thank you for the boiling cauldron. So
Yeah.
basically when you say it's, like, wrong because because it's not the purpose, then you denote the purpose as being for heterosexual intercourse as by observation. Well, we could also denote
No,
observation of
no,
homosexual
no,
intercourse,
no.
therefore that would be an
My,
asserted purpose as well.
you're getting me wrong. My point is, yeah, the penis was made to reproduce, and I'm not basing it on because animals have sex.
Okay, the penis was
Because
made to reproduce.
you're
Sweet.
cutting me
So
off.
if
You're
I
cutting me
engage
off.
in
You're
intercourse
cutting
with
me
an
off. No,
infertile,
you can't do that. You're cutting me off. Let me land.
okay, tread a land.
Yeah, let me. I'm saying that a penis was made to reproduce because it has an outcome to it. What is the outcome of engaging gay?
Oh, right. So there would be no outcome, like no reproduction, right? So I have a question for you. If I engage in intercourse with an infertile woman, is that immoral?
It's unfortunate.
Is it immoral?
Is it immoral to have sex with an unfertile woman?
Yeah. Can you answer? Yeah. Can you answer?
Yeah, I said it is. It is.
Yo, you got an echo, dude. Swipe out of your app. Swipe out of your app, man. You gotta swipe out of your app and come back in. You got an echo. Pineapple, thank you so much for the boiling cauldron. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Pineapple. Right. So why would that be? Oh, hello. Oh, I think Ando was getting phone calls. That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Thank you so much for that, Corn Rachel. All right, guys. Well, yeah, we're actually gonna go ahead and head over to Parker's stream. This was a short stream over here, and it honestly didn't perform that well today. That's all right. That's all right, guys. But we're gonna go ahead and send you guys over to Parker's stream right now. I'm gonna be doing a co-host with him. So there is more debates for the night. I'm not done yet. I'm just co-hosting with Parker. The topic is, why do you think it's okay to use slurs? We may switch it up. We'll see. And that is at Parker Get a Job. So everyone go over to at Parker Parker, get a job on TikTok right now. Hi, it's really good to see you. Thank you so much for that galaxy. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm saving up to get a new mic, so that's very nice of you. Thank you so much. So everyone, thank you for the 2 galaxies. Everyone go over to @Parker, get a job on TikTok right now, y'all. We are doing a co-host with him right now, so everyone head over there. I will see you all very momentarily. Have a good one, y'all. Head over to @Parker, get a job.